Hey guys, what's up? My name's the Cool Mike and welcome back with another video, and today I'm just gonna be doing a short video knowing my personality. So I'm gonna be trying two personality tests. One is from Insightful Traits, as you guys could see here on my screen, and the other one is this one, which is from Truity, the Enneagram Personality Test. So I'm gonna be doing two tests, one from each, and then we're going to be comparing them to see if they both match. So what you call this, these are both free. You guys can just search them. One is from Insightful Traits, which we're gonna do first. So take your test. You can search them on Google. They're technically free. Three simple tests. Take the test, get results, explore and grow. Let's get started. Okay, I don't enjoy participating in creative expression like writing or making music. I disagree. Because I love anything that involves creativity, writing stories. That's the reason why I enjoy playing Dungeons and Dragons. I play Dungeons and Dragons or D&D as not a player but as a dungeon master, because I love creating stories, making characters, all that stuff. So yeah, totally disagree. I do enjoy writing stories or anything that involves creativity. I find it challenging to remain detached when others are experiencing emotional distress. Remain detached. Not really. I find it challenging to remain detached. The wording is confusing. So it's not a challenge for me to connect emotionally with people. Is that what it's trying to say? The wording is just challenging. I find it challenging to remain detached. To remain attached. Challenging because it is negative and then this is negative. Challenging and then detached. Attached is the positive one. I am so confused with the wording. I find it challenging to remain detached. I will go with this, sure. I make decisions based on what makes sense rather than what feels right. No, technically, I go with my gut feeling most of the time. So, when working on a group project, I encourage setting clear roles and deadlines from the beginning. I would say yeah, I do set myself some goal. I do have some deadlines. I do make deadlines for myself. I make a checklist every time I record and edit a video. And yeah, I would say yeah. Pretty much. When facing a challenge, my first step is to seek input and advice from others. Yeah, or I do my own research technically, but yeah, I do seek advice from others. It's always, useful to get advice and help from others. You don't have to face every problem by yourself or alone. Yeah, sometimes it's nice to get help when needed. I often make lists and schedules to organize my activities. Yes, absolutely. I always have a plan every week of what I need to be done, what I need to do. I usually wait for others to initiate the conversation in social settings. Yeah. Sometimes I should wait for others to initiate conversations. Yeah. I enjoy providing emotional support for my friends when they need it. Emotional support. I do. Yes, I certainly do. I'm not good at it, but I try. I value practically over experimental ideas. Practicality over experimental ideas? No. As a creative person, I like to experiment. So, practicality Experimental. I go with this one. Disagree. I find joy achieving set goals through systematic planning. Yeah, I do sometimes. I think some. I think mistakes should have consequences. Not necessarily. There are sometimes you learn from your mistakes. Sometimes the mistakes ends up to be the good thing. But not. I would say neutral, because not necessarily that it has to be consequences. I like starting projects and seeing where my creativity leads over planning everything out first. Yeah, I agree with that. I tend to avoid arguing with others even when I have a different opinion. I tend to avoid arguing with... No, technically, I don't like confrontation, but I always word out my my input or my opinion if necessary or if needed, so not necessarily. I often think about new ideas and future projects even when currently working on something. Yep, that happens. Meeting new people often makes me feel anxious and stressed. Not really. I mean, I'm an introvert and I'm a very shy, but it doesn't technically stress me. I meet, you know, I meet new people once a month. Every month I meet different people. Especially when doing D&D games, most of all of my players technically are what you call someone who I have not met. And then most of the time they're foreigners. They're from another country. Some are from Canada or US or UK. So, or even older, way older than me. So not necessarily. I'm not that stressed. I work best under pressure and often complete tasks at the last minute. Best under pressure. Nope, I do not work best under pressure. I hate time pressure. Pressure ruins stuff. Especially when it comes to creativity, it ruins the energy for me. Because art takes time, and you have to take time with art, because if you rush it, the result becomes, not what you quite expected, or not the best. I usually make plans days in advance. Yeah, I do. Not all the time, but I do. I prefer to stay in the background during social events. Yeah. Like I said, I'm an introvert. So I don't like what you call attention. I tend to express my emotions openly. When needed, not always. I find too much planning takes the fun out of life. I find that too much planning takes the fun out of life. Yeah. It's not a bad thing, but yeah, sometimes. I feel calm when everything is scheduled and it's in place. Not really. Everything is scheduled and it's in place, unless the schedule is not what you want. So I would say neutral on that one. I feel invigorated when I can solve complex problems logically. Yeah, sure. I guess a sense of achievement. I prefer a structured approach when learning something new, following a clear plan and guidelines. Yeah, structured approach. It depends, especially when it comes to creativity side or creating art. There's no structural approach. You just have to approach it and hope that it ends well. I like to listen rather than to take a lead in group conversations. Yeah, I do. I'm more of a listener, I guess. I feel more relaxed when I can enjoy my own company. Yes. My own company. I mean, personal space. I'm an introvert, so I prefer personal space over everything. Just being myself, recording and having fun. I favor effectiveness when making decisions, even if it hurts someone's feelings. That would depend. hurt that would vary. I often feel drained after studying and need time alone to recharge. Yes, I do. Like I said, I'm an introvert. Not always, but most of the time. I prefer to be alone. When solving problems, I start by considering the existing conditions and constraints. When solving problems, I start considering the existing conditions and constraints. Yeah, I think the pros and cons, sure. I prioritize the feelings of others when making decisions. Not always. Sometimes it's basically also on my own emotions and my feelings. I don't just base it from other people, I also base it with my own feelings as well. During meetings, I like to discuss issues openly and exchange ideas with others. Openly exchange ideas with others, yeah. I do that. When learning something new, I like to start with the theory and general concepts. Not too complicated, sure, but I don't go too much on it. I don't overthink it too much. In team discussions, I focus on grounding our approach in what we know works. Yeah, that makes sense. I find inspiration and creativity in open-ended approaches rather than detailed plan. Approaches rather than a detailed plan. Yeah. Technically, if there's no constraints or limitations, if you go outside of your box, you get more ideas. I'm fascinated about complex, detailed, and innovative ideas. Sometimes, not always. Although complex and innovative, that would depend what those ideas are. I enjoy finding deeper meanings in the information I come across. Yes, I've been reading a lot of mysteries and articles for the past few months. It's just weird. So yes, I think I've reached the era of girls watching murder movies or how to dispose a body, those type of things. I'm in that era, which is weird. I've been reading a lot of mysteries, missing people, what you call cults. It's weird. It's just weird. I enjoy quick chats and frequent check-ins with colleagues throughout the workday. Frequent checkup? Not really. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I only converse when I'm being talked to or when people want to talk to me. But I'm not basically what you call a story or a topic starter. I don't start conversations well. So not really. I enjoy the adrenaline focus that come when working under pressure. No. I prefer this one. Yeah. I prefer social activities over individual ones. I enjoy it, but not to the point that I still prefer individual ones because I'm an introvert. Unless it is D&D. But if it's just social activities like partying, going to bars, no. I enjoy figuring out the big picture and how my decisions will impact the future. Yeah. I prefer working in creative environment over one with the clear guidance and responsibilities. Absolutely. I'm a very artistic guy. That's the reason why I like to do projects that involves, creativity and such. So yeah, absolutely. I enjoy taking chances and exploring uncharted territories to discover new solutions. That depends. Normally, although exploring uncharted territories is fun, I would say that would depend. I tend to stick to proven methods and reliable routines. Yeah, that would also depend, but I would always stick with what I know works, obviously. I enjoy sharing my excitement and happiness with others. Yes. Especially in terms of hobbies, yes. A lot of my coworkers know I love Lego or I love bricks, stuffed toys. I appreciate movies with clear themes and messages rather than those open interpretations. Clear movies and messages rather than those open to interpretations. Not really. It depends on the story. I prefer exploring new possibilities and solutions without sticking to a strict plan. Sometimes, but not always. Sometimes. I get anxious when I disagree with people. Not really. I'm vocal with my opinions, but I don't get anxious. I feel comfortable and confident in social situations, even with people I don't know well. I disagree with that one. I'm an introvert, so yeah. I often explain my ideas using metaphors or hypothetical scenarios. That depends. Not always. I appreciate an innovative project that fails over one that succeeds by sticking to tradition. Over one that succeeds into tradition. Yeah, I mean, I like to experiment things. I tend to act detached to avoid emotional distress. No, not really. I prefer ordering my favorite dishes rather than trying something new. Yes, I am a picky eater, so yeah. I'm a picky eater. I think unexpected changes make my days interesting. Yeah, sure. I mean, I guess. I enjoy engaging with new people frequently. Not really. Not really. I usually complete task projects well before deadlines. That depends. No promises there. That would depend on the project. Some projects takes longer than what you expect. I prefer being correct over being like for what I say. No, not really. I don't like being correct all the time. Like I said, I don't want to be the cause of attention. I find value in listening and validating feelings of others. Yeah, I do. I mean, I'm more of a I find value in listening and validating the feelings of others. Yeah, I do. I'm more of a listener. I excel in environments when I can work quietly and independently. Yes. That, more so, yes. Not always. Depends how hard the task is. I empathize easily with others' emotions. I would say so. In conversations, I'm quick to respond and enjoy rapid exchanges. That would depend on the topic. If I know more about the topic. I like to keep my work and personal life separate. Work and personal life separate. Yes. For the most part, yes. Generally, this option will determine the avatar in your account. I'm a male. Get results. Why does it want me? Congratulations, you did it. To get your results, create your account and we'll send them over to you. Why? Okay. Okay. Select the plan losses full report. So here are your free personality traits. Click here to continue to view more. So we have feelings over thinking. So I'm more 49% feelings than thinking. Oh, I'm pretty much middle. Intuition to sensing. I'm 48% intuition. So I'm more of what I feel like, I guess. Extroverted to introverted. I'm 52% introverted. Surprisingly, that's not. I'm surprised that's not higher because I am more of an introvert. Perceiving and judging. I'm 61% judging. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? in terms of judging. Yeah, pretty much that's that. I don't know what continue is. Of course. It says free and then it makes you pay. Okay. Alright, I guess we get to move on with the other one. I think it's better. Let's move on to another, what you call, personality test. Alright, so this one is the other one, which is called the Truity, the Enneagram Personality Test. Explore the nine types and discover who you truly are. So this one is also free. Hopefully it doesn't make me pay, or at least log in just to see my results. So, inaccurate, neutral, and accurate. I strive for perfection. Inaccurate. Not really. I'm not a perfectionist. I just enjoy what I do. I don't try to be perfect with it, you know. I work hard to be helpful to others. Yeah, I at least try. It is important to me that other people like me. I guess in my career, yes, that other people like me. Yeah. Not all the time, but for the most part. To achieve great things. To achieve great things. I mean, if it means dreams, yeah. I make more significant contributions than the average person. Not really. That would depend. I feel my emotions very deeply. I would say so. I have sense that other people will never truly understand me. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it varies, but there are people who technically don't understand my hobbies and those kind of stuff. I think deeply about things. Sometimes, but not all the time. That depends what those things are. Yeah, that would depend what those things are. I am prepared for any disaster. Oh, absolutely not. It is important to me to avoid pain and suffering at all times. Yeah, no one wants that. Next step. Oh, there are 6. Oh, this one is a longer one. I seek out experiences that I know will make me feel happy or excited. Absolutely. Technically, that should be that. I see the positive in every situation. That would depend. I am not afraid to tell someone when I think they are wrong. Yeah. I let other people make the decisions. Yeah, sometimes. I appreciate having rules that people are expected to follow. That depends what those rules are. I'm concerned about security more than anything else. Not really. I think a lot about what will happen in the future. No, I've learned this, that the fun about being in the present is you don't know where life is gonna take you. So I just enjoy life as it is. I don't think too much in the future ahead because you never know what's gonna happen. I don't fit in with ordinary people. That depends. Not all. That depends. I guess it regardless of hobbies, that would vary. There is rarely a good reason for changing how things are done. And not really. I mean, it depends on the person, but not really. I always finish my chores. That depends what those chores are. No promises there. I'm always trying to be a better person. Yes, I try. I check carefully for mistakes and errors. Yeah. I like to be around people who I can help. Who I can help? Yeah, I do. I feel that I'm an important person in my social group. I like to feel that I'm important person. Nope. I am an introvert. I don't like to be the source of attention. It is important to me to be successful. Not really. I just try to enjoy life as it is. The organizations I belong to would not function well without me. I belong to nope. In terms of work, nope. I'm not pretty sure. I often feel overtaken by my emotions. Not really. I have always felt different from other people. Always felt different from other people. Yeah, sometimes. I like to analyze things from every angle. That depends. I always have a plan for what I would do if things go wrong. Nope. Not really. I avoid situations that bring up negative feelings. Yes, as much as possible. I seek excitement. I would say yeah. I'm good at seeing the bright side of things when others complain. That would depend. I do not hesitate to call people out when they are behaving badly. Yeah. I go along with what other people want. Nope. People should follow. I always prefer what I think I want rather than peer pressure. I don't do that. So if my friends go to bars to drink, I'm not a drinker. I don't drink alcohol. I make them know that I don't like to go there. So yeah. Unless, you're obliged to, like with close friends. But as much as possible, if I don't like doing certain things, I make sure I make them know that I don't like doing those things. People should follow the rules instead of doing what they feel like doing. Not really. Sometimes rules tend to be broken. Are meant to be broken, rather. I seek out relationships that offer me some types of protection. I guess, that depends what type of protection you're looking for. In terms of trust, I guess. I can clearly visualize what could happen in the future. No, not really. I don't think much of the future. I just enjoy the present as it is. Average people often find me a bit weird. Yes, sometimes. That depends who those people are. I like to do things as I always done them. Yeah, I would say so. I would like to explore more possibilities to do things. Hopefully, achieve more things and enjoy it more. I persist until a task is done. That depends. I don't try to stress myself too much, and I don't work under pressure well. I don't work well under pressure because it tends to ruin the energy. I spend time typing to discover I spend time trying to discover and correct my faults and weaknesses. Not... That depends. I would say not really. I hold myself to very high standards. Oh no. I am an unnatural caretaker. I would say it depends. But a lot of people say I'm very good with kids. I've heard that with some people, which is weird. Because I like to, spend time with little children. That sounded so wrong coming out from me. But I mean to say is I like to, to play games, play toys with them, just spend time with them, accompany them. That sounded so wrong. But what I meant is, I guess I'm good with kids because I tend to understand them in a way, in a personal level, something like that, which is, I don't know how to explain that. I don't know what people meant when I'm saying I'm good with kids. I guess it means that I'm good with taking care of kids. I don't personally agree with that much. I just like to spend time with them, play with them, and then share them the enjoyments of life. Those kind of things. I want people to admire me. Not really. I want to achieve a lot in my life. Yes, I do. Especially in my in my dreams. I have dreams that I want to achieve. Actually, I should be doing this. If I'm honest, I feel that I'm a bit better than other people. Oh no, I tend not to compare with myself with other people. It's everyone is different, so comparing yourself is not gonna help. I feel a deep sense of grief for what I have lost. Yes, I'm an actual sort of person. Yeah, I would say so. Some people would say I am weird and has unique interests. I take time to understand things more deeply than most people do. That would depend. It is important to me to be prepared for any emergency. No, because you never know what's gonna happen. So I rather not stress myself too much on it. I distract myself from my sad feelings that arise. Why did I put an S on the no. I often make changes in my life when things get boring. Yes, oops, absolutely. I tend to be more optimistic than most people. Sometimes, not always. I tell people what I think even if it's hard to hear. Yes. I would rather follow the group than push for what I want. Nope. I always aim for what I want. Always prioritize yourself before prioritizing others, because making people happy or doing something what people want is while sacrificing what you want is not the right way to do it. Always ask yourself what you want first before asking others what they want. Learn to love yourself by by prioritizing yourself first, because what you believe and what you think is important. I feel most comfortable in organizations with clear hierarchy. I mean, sure, I don't really care, but I guess if you know who's in charge, I guess. I take measures to protect myself and my loved ones from harm. Yes, of course. That depends on my capability of protection. But yeah, I make plans for many years in the future. No. I am an unusual, unique person. I would say so. I dislike trying new methods or procedures. Not really. I focus on I always try something new, like playing D&D with lots of rules. I enjoy doing that. I focus on my responsibilities and duties. Yeah, I try at the very least. I read books that help me more productive and better at what I do. Yes. I'm not a reader, I'm not a bookworm, but I do like to research to how to do things. I put a lot of pressure on myself to do things right. That depends. I don't try to stress myself too much. I take the initiative to help other people and make their lives easier. Some people would disagree on this, but I try. So I'm just gonna go neutral on that. I put the effort to make good impression on other people. I at least do. I set ambitious goals for myself. Ambitious goals, not really. That depends on the goals. I just try to focus more on what makes me happy rather than what is ambitious. So yeah, I am an important member of the social group. No, that I'm just a nobody. I don't like to be the cause of attention. I can describe my emotions in a lot of depth and detail. Nah. That would depend, but nah. I often feel like an outsider. Yeah. It depends on my hobbies. Technically, the hobbies is what makes me different from other people. I find my mind to be very interesting place. Weirdly enough, yes, when you're thinking. So yeah, there's more. This is like 11. I thought there were just 6 parts. I'm always aware of what can go wrong in a situation. Nope. I have many ways of avoiding situations that get me down. That depends, but not always. I'm always up for a new adventure. Yeah. I believe that things usually work out for the best. No. I stand up for what I believe in, even if it upsets other people. I would say, yeah. I let other people take the lead. Yeah. I don't want to be the source of attention, but yeah, I dislike people who disrupt things by breaking the rules. Not really. I make alliances with people who can help me stay safe and secure. That depends. I'm often looking ahead towards what is coming next. That depends as well. I have different interests than most people. Not really. I'm pretty sure there are more people more interesting than me. The traditional way of doing things is the best way. I disagree on that one. I'm a responsible and reliable person. I would not say that, but I would say neutral on that one. I have a lot of plans for how I can improve myself. I would say it's one of these two. No, these two. That would depend what those things are. I make sure that even small details are correct. Nope, not really. I enjoy caring for others and their needs. That depends what those needs are. I want to be the person that others can look up. Nope. Like I said, I don't try to be the cause of attention. I push myself to succeed. Not really. I just enjoy what I do rather than focusing on success. I make important contributions to my community. Not really. I really have strong emotions. Sometimes, not always. I feel never truly belong in social groups. There are times, not always. I want to learn as much as I can about how the world works. That depends what those things are. It is important for me to understand what can go wrong in a situation. That also depends. I take steps to ensure I don't feel sad or lonely. Yep. I always focus on happiness, what makes me happy. Trying new things keeps life interesting. Yeah, I would say so. I'm an upbeat person, and sometimes, not always. I'm usually the one that takes a stand when others won't. Ooh, nope. That, I don't want to be the cause of attention. Other people have stronger opinions than I do. I would say so. Everyone have a role to play in society and a duty to do their best. Yeah, I'm concerned with protecting what I have. Yes. I have good sense of what my future holds. Nope. Oops. Did the screen just flicker on me? I hope the recording was fine. I am an average person with ordinary likes and dislikes. Not really. I tried new ways of doing things just to see if they would work. Yes. I have a great deal of willpower. That depends. Self-improvement is a major interest of mine. Self-improvement? I would say so. Okay. Improve yourself and your life. I am willing to do much to improve myself and or life. I'm willing to make some effort to improve myself. Good deal of effort to improve myself. Make some effort. I would say make some effort to improve myself and my life. Yeah, I would say that. Nope. What areas of your life are you the most interested in improving? Select all to apply. Being successful in my career, improving productivity and motivation, developing leadership and teamwork skills, having strong supportive relationships, learning to use unique strengths and talents, learning how to make good decisions, finding happiness and satisfaction in life. Yeah, I would say this three. I mean, like I said, I don't focus too much on success, but in terms of career, something that you love, I would say yeah. Productivity and motivations, not really. I just enjoy what I do. I don't try to motivate other people in term or being productive. I guess I could say yes, but it's not my top priority. Leadership, no, I don't really. I'm not a leader of a group. Supportive relationship, strong and supportive relationships, I would say yeah. Learning how to unique strengths and talents, yeah. Learning how to make good decisions. Sometimes bad decisions can become a gift because you end up finding something about yourself from the mistakes you make, or learning new things from the mistakes you make. And then of course, happiness and satisfaction in life. Just enjoy life. Do something that you love. What is your age? I'm not gonna answer that. But I'm gonna... Oh, I guess we can. There you go. You guys can guess my age. Gender, I'm a man. Get my results. How complicated is this? Because there's a lot of questions here. See my results. Let's see how interesting it is. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so I paid. Oh boy. All right, so here's my full result because it was like $29. Still expensive, but I paid. I'm pretty sure, yeah. Yep. So it did charge me for like $29, so I paid for it. Sure, I mean it was quite expensive, but yeah. So I am, apparently you are type 9, the peacemaker, which is weird. You're calm, harmonious, accepting, cooperative, and persuasive. That does not... I'm calm, harmonious, accepting, cooperative. I'm not sure about that, but apparently I'm a peacemaker. 9 are defined by a desire to live in a peaceful harmony with their environment. They want to sense of balance and calm. And oh, because I've been choosing neutral. Is that what that meant? Sense of balance and calm, and aspire to a kind of harmonious where nothing disturbs their inner peace. They tend to be easygoing and accepting for what it is happening around them, but can become resistant and willfully oblivious when something in the environment threatens to throw them off balance. Huh. What is Enneagram? Enneagram is a personality scores. So these are my scores. Number 9. Number 9 is massive. Then number 5 is next. Number 7, followed by number 4. Number 8, followed by, I'm guessing, number 2. Number 6, number 1, and number 3 being the least. Of the Enneagram, each of the 9 Enneagram is the one driving force, which contain around particular emotions. Some types experience strong emotions, while other types aim to avoid emotions in one form or another. However, whether running from emotions or diving into them, each type describes some aspects of emotional experience. The 9 types of Enneagram are commonly divided into groups within 4 types. Each considered to driven groups is considered to be driven by particular center of intelligence and particular core of emotions. Body types. Body types are driven instinct turned into 5 senses and primary means of gathering information. Body types create emotion gut stomach to have a gut sense of 4 things. For body types, core emotions is for body types, the core emotion is anger, and this does not necessarily mean that all body types experience anger frequently. Some people or body types express their anger, however, it is still driven by force and thoughts of actions. Body types. So 8. Core emotion is anger. Is this my emotion? Anger? 873. I don't know what that means. 9 is 98. And 1 is 44. So 9 is 7, and then 8 is 73. I'm guessing that, and then 1 is 44, which is the least. Eights are themselves as strong and powerful and seek to stand up for what they believe in. Yeah. They rarely see themselves as having vulnerabilities and having the belief that they can handle pretty much anything that comes in their way. Not really. Eights have that's not me technically. Eights have easy access to their anger, and as a result are sometimes seen as intimidating to others. I am not an intimidating person. No one has said me that. Eights typically see themselves as fighters and standing up for what is right and protecting the weak. Weirdly enough, I'm not a fighter. I avoid confrontation, just like I said before. 9. 98 match. 9s are defined as desire to live in peaceful harmony with their environment. They sense of balance and calm and acquire the kind of harmonious where nothing disturbs their inner peace. They tend to be easygoing and accepting of what is happening around them, but can become resistant and willing to live something environment that throws them off. Okay. 1 is 44% match. 1 is defined by the others believe that everything must be in order, and by that they're feeling that they must always be right. No, that's not me. That show great commitment and determination to improve, that they find need improvement, and they are forward in encouraging others to improve their performance too. Head types. Head types are driven by intellect and tend to analyze, rationalize, and head types make choices and evaluations based on their logical analysis and interpretation of things. They are prone to overthinking things. For head types, the core emotion is fear. This does not necessarily mean that all head types no longer experience a lot of fear. For some, fear is more unconscious driving force. Your head types. So 5. Oh, so this, Jesus, it is so complicated. So in terms of anger, 9. So I become aggressive if my peace is destroyed. Is that what this means? And then 8. 8 is technically for however, 8 is see themselves as something that protects the weak for some reason. And then there's 1, which is everything has an order. So number 5. So head types, which is fear, is driven by the number 5, which is the highest. What's number 5? This is number 5, which is 5. 5s are driven by the belief that their resources are scarce and that they don't have enough of what they need. Unlike other types who go out into the world to go what they need, 5 instead aim to need a little as possible. Yeah, I enjoy what I have. I don't try to get everything. To achieve this, they withdraw from the world and retreating into the mines and conserve their time, energy, and other resources. Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. 6. Let's try the second highest. 7 is 95%. 7 are defined by their desire to experience everything good and pleasurable and the world has to offer, while avoiding pain, boredom, and limitations. Although 7s appear enthusiastic and fun-loving, deep down they have a fear of getting stuck in negative emotions, I guess. Thus, they tend to disconnect from their deeper feelings. Not really. I don't try to disconnect. I'm very vocal with what I feel. If I don't like it, I tend to say it though. instead of focusing on their imagination and zest for life to keep them moving forward and gathering new full experiences. Instead of focusing... that's an interesting way. And then, I mean, I'm not sure if I totally agree with this. With that line. But okay. 6 are preoccupied with security, seek safety, and like to be prepared for problems. Oh no, that's the exact opposite of me. I try not to think about problems. They have active minds which are constantly scanning for danger and creating contingency plans. They are highly attuned to risk and typically have the clear idea of what they will do in any worst case scenario. That is not me though. They are good at seeing how things to play out, particularly understanding how things could go wrong. I'm not sure about that, but okay. Heart types. Oh, these are emotions. Oh Jesus, this is long. Oh boy, how long is this? Oh boy, okay. We're gonna do this. Sadness. So, my highest is 4. 4s are defined by their belief that they are different from other people. And by their feelings of envy for what others have. 4s have the sense that something is missing from their lives and they worry that they will never have bliss that other people experience. At their core, oh, that's not me though. 4 passionately long for the type of deep connection with the way you feel whole and accepted. Not really. I enjoy what I have. I'm not sure if this is accurate though. Next one is 2. 2 want to be like and find ways that they can be of service to others, that they can belong. They have strong need to be updated with others and persuaded by the kind of caring, helpful, or highly intuitive sense of what other people need and want. They sometimes give too much themselves because they are so eager to be connected with others. So I'm not sure about that as well, but you know, I try to help. They're defined to achieve. This defined by their desire to achieve. They want to advance in the world. Everything's successful because pursuing entertainment, but they will only choose tasks in the first place if it promises rewards and brings prestige. 3s like to stand out. They have the burning need to be admired, see life as a game where winning is emphasized. Okay, I guess that's the lowest. In depth, your primary type is 9. It is a section well driven, understands driven emotions and desires. In a nutshell, 9 is defined by a desire to live a peaceful, harmonious. We already know that. Happy along with 9s are accommodating and agreeable and readily adjust to people around them. That they simply don't have strong opinions or urgent needs. That is like not really, because like I said, I'm very vocal if I don't want something. Needs of their own, so they are happy to go along with other people want and need to others. They appear gentle, pleasant, and easy to be around. And are usually more aware of other people's desires than they are on their own. Ooh, really? No, I don't agree with that as well, because they are so eager to keep the peace. They often preemptively agree with others, even if they have a chance to figure out what they themselves want. Over time, they tend to lose touch with their own inner voice, and they tune on what their own inner guidance systems are telling the paper. That is the exact opposite of me. 9? Really? Is it because I choose a lot of neutral? Strengths: agreeable and accommodating, easygoing and likable, good finding compromise middle ground, out of touch with own needs, faces problems with positive resistance instead of head-on, has a trouble taking decisive action. Interesting. It's what I said before when I was taking the test. What the result is giving me is the exact opposite. I'm not sure about this though. Slot. A laziness and initiative pursuing on, yeah, although 9, they are just trying to go with the flow. The truth is they tend to let other people set the agenda rather than do something difficult work and define their own needs, desires, and goals. Pursuing one's own interests can be taxing effort just to go along with others happening. This is the exact opposite of me. At the core of 9, feeling that making a sense of different core belief. What I want isn't that important, so I'll just go with the flow. That is opposite of me as well. Core fear, having needs to desires to create friction that's between people, driving people away. 9 tends to fear by loss of pushing down if the potential, and the menu not continues push their needs aside, favor going core desire to maintain sense of peace, of harmony, and environment, harmony, positivity, disconnection from self, inertia, routine. Trouble taking decisive action, routine. 9 get themselves busy with the life, emotional life. 9s may have strong emotions, but typically neither they nor everyone is aware of it. 9s don't typically report very active emotional life as their own self-awareness takes backseat of their awareness of others. I can't believe I paid for a result that is the exact opposite of what I was thinking. It's because I choose a lot of neutral. I think that's what the test was looking for. With their anger, although anger is defined core 9 is related to types. 9s tend to fear and avoid anger, seeing it as a dangerous force which people apart and damages relationships. Yeah, I guess. I was never conscious of being angry, and if they do become angry, they can no longer repress it. It just spill over explosively. Interesting, because 9s are so out of touch the emotions when they do express them. They are often not aware of having done so. They're emotionally and project their emotions on others. When 9 emotion, it is disorienting experiencing for them, and they are occasionally communicating with their own experiences quite others. Growth often finds its major task to become more in touch with their emotions, but difficult emotions like anger often 9s can connect with their emotions about it. Pain emotions may be felt physically. Childhood origins. This is complicated though. Of not being heard of, not feeling important. Many 9s from large families, the environment typically did not have their needs met or even listened to in childhood. I'm not sure about that. I mean, sometimes, I guess, in terms of toys, the reason the 9th child was not allowed to take up much space in the family of origin. They wanted, but it was not. Also to begin to spend more energy in their own needs. Many 9s report to having had a happy childhood. With the conflict, they may be less reflection of the 9's tendencies. Most often relationships, though rose-colored glasses. For childhood trauma or strife, the 9 is more likely to say that things were just fine. It is critical strategy to see them. Okay. In relationships, 9 is supportive, accepting partners who often look to relationships provide some level of direction to purpose to their lives. They tend to merge with their partners, taking their partner's goals, priorities, and values of their own. That feel comfortable and provide a sense of belonging and happiness, although they are I mean, this is true. Belonging and acceptance, I would say I would agree to this. Something that your partner has, common interests, hobbies rather than looks. And although they're willing to put their own needs aside to say, their ideal priority is to help them to find their own voice as well. That's interesting. Good. Global accommodating. Something often let their partners take the lead. Gentle, peaceful presence. The bad. Tend to ignore difficulties and problems. I guess. Avoid conflict and repress anger. Yeah, I try to avoid conflict. Technically, that I will agree. Become passive aggressive when unhappy and how things are going. Not sure about this one. We find the easy go. Nine partners typically find the easy to be around. Nine peaceful presence, calming when they be stabilizing force partners who are a bit more volatile and changeable, and when their partners have the tendency to lead, nines are usually happy to follow. Nines are willing to go to great lengths to keep the peace in the relationship, putting their own desires aside. Partners, although nines are genuinely happy to support their partners, they can easily get pushed too far and make choices they don't really want to. When this happens, typically nine goes to communicate with dissatisfaction, but rather becomes withdrawn and obstinate. They may blame their partners for their own unhappiness, sharing exactly what it is they wanted. That's interesting. Nine's conflict aversion can also be sticking point to relationships. While partners of nines often feel very safe in their relationships, they are unlikely to be challenged or criticized by the extent of which nines may be swallowing valid complaints they involve, especially in the nine keep everything bottled up until they explode with anger. Nines learn to gently bring up issues and problems and proactively weigh, trusting that their needs are important and will be treated as such by the parents to be effective relationships. Nines say that some conflicts in the necessary can be handled in a way that brings people together instead of driving them apart. Wow, that is steep. Trusting that needs are important and will be treated as well by their partners. Think battle up until they explode anger. Knights need to learn to gently bring up issues and problems, trusting that their needs are important as well. Partners, to be effective partnership, nine must accept some complicated. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, I don't disagree with that. At work, nines enjoy immersing themselves in tasks that have clear expectations and metrics for success. They can tremendously be patient plugging away the projects that offer self-esteem and recognition. They often prefer to let others take the lead and make pleasant and agreeable teammates. Yeah, sure. I mean, I don't disagree with it. What nine needs to work? Clear structure and milestones, respect for the nine boundaries and priorities, space for everything accompanying tasks, and without distraction. Nines often favored coworkers for their helpful and accommodating attitude makes them easy to work with. They are typically flexible in adapting others' demands and priorities, and never their egos get in the way what needs to be done. They are usually more than happy to pitch what their coworkers need help, even if the task and doesn't exactly fit their job description. Nope, not really. But yeah, in terms of looking for careers, I prefer the ones that I want. So I'm not sure if I agree with that one. The flip side of the diet flexibility is that they can often be distracted from their own priorities, and it's not uncommon for nine to find themselves with tasks and open housekeeping. And desire helpful, they can lose sight of what they really want to accomplish, or even what they were really hard to do. Nines often need assistance to stay focused on the areas when they bring high value contribution to the organization and to get mandate duties of their plates that they can eventually deploy their unique skills and abilities. Nines often have competitive relationships with authority. They typically need us to set the agenda, and so often work best under a manager who can effectively direct their time and priorities. I mean, I guess I don't disagree with that. However, leaders who micromanage or more authoritarian than democratic will be surprised at how uncooperative the nine can become. Nines fundamentally hate being told what to do. Oh, that I agree. And although they appear agreeable on the surface, they can be simply stubborn and productive if they feel that they are being pushed too far. A leader who appreciates them gently and really solicits their feedback. That's interesting, you know. Nine often find their work expands to fit the time allowed, and they can fiddle with projects for as long as they expect completion date if deadlines are not set clearly. Because nice work that others, they can have trouble telling when something is truly done, and they work best when someone else is checking. We provide some structure. Interesting. Of health, stress, like anytime thing at the end that displayed what is the type. When they are less healthy and happy, they will show more of the artist's weakness, stress. When nines are healthy, they can become deeply disoriented, unexperienced from the world around them, desiring more anything truly wealthy and healthy. Nines are becoming sluggish and unable to deal with things in any constructive ways. Stressed nines can be described as disordered, disinterested, unaware, negligent, impotent, oblivious, average. Psychological health, there's still more. My god, lead credible. Probably involved and maybe avoid thinking about the bigger picture and having make significant decisions. Conflict avoidant, easygoing, resilient, passive, aggressive, stubborn, complete, disengaged, and then thriving. The best nines are being gentle and supportive others. Healthy nines are able to maintain their sense of harmony and peace, still being aware of their own experience, desires. Healthy nines easygoing and accommodating, ready to compromise so that others can get what they want. So we are humble, accepting, calm, creative. Oh, that's good. Patient, supportive, receptive, and cooperative. That's interesting. Transformations, etc. The growth and movement. Enneagram shows society undergoing transition through wings and arrows. Wings. Which primary type enneagram for most people, primary wings are also a way to think about development and studying enneagram. So 8 and 1. The 8 wing. 8s are assertive, confident people who have strong sense of personal power and want to deploy force their sense of right and wrong. Or they fear being controlled or validated by others, and they defend against this by presenting, commanding, and even in many ways. 8 and 9 are types appear to be opposites. 9s strive their personal power, while 8s define themselves by their ability to command it. For this reason, 9s are well developed. 8 wing can seem somewhat contradictory to 9 with the 8 wing are constantly accommodating. 8 wing are contribute the sense that the 9 is still in control. While they are happy to go along, they have a core of conviction which will not be breached. 8 wing can help 9s to be more confident in self plus 8 comfort level, and airborne 9s typically away becoming as well as owning ability. Recognition power. Wow. Contributions at 8 wing: action, orientation, confidence, clear boundaries, self-expression. The 1 wing. The 1 perfectionistic, extracting people who have strong sense of right and wrong, committing doing that needs to be done at their core, that they're being defective and bad people. On wings brings more structure and principle that 9s include feel that anything goes as long as it doesn't disrupt peace, whichever one, whereas ones have the clear set of boundaries and regulation that adhere to. So 1 wing can contribute useful level to order. 9 way of thinking, providing the clear sense of right and wrong and giving 9 more concrete foundation and decisions. 1 wing can also help 9 become more action-oriented, while 9s tend to lack internal sense of direction, waiting for others to take the lead, others an internal sense in order to lead the equipment. 9s 1 way less in direction and the value. Motivation clear. Arrows. Wow, this is so brief. It's unbelievable. So in terms of, so the wings are like my side emotions that balances 9 for some reason, and then the arrows, path of development, each type is connected to other types of diagram. In contrast with wings, which are somewhat related with our primary type, arrows point to aspects of our personality that may be completely neglected. We tend to access our arrows points during times of upheaval, when are experiencing stress and profound personal growth. When points 2006, they just grow 9. How much you already developed through these points? That you have already developed somewhat, while lower scores indicate an area for future growth. How you express your type and add depth to understanding what drives you. So 8 is being the highest. And then 1 being the lowest. These are the principal. Okay, and then my what you call 6 is what I have already improved on, and 3 needs improvement. So 6 accept recognition, set your may be important in the eyes of others. Development through the origin points. The growth point. So what's 6? 6 are security, so security and safe, and then 1 no, 3 needs improvement. So 6 I don't see what's 3, 4. If I do this to achieve, they want to advance the world will sacrifice anything. Okay, so 3 is my lowest in terms of achieving. Because I focus more on happiness rather than success, I guess. So yeah. Be the naysayer instead of agreeing with plan. I went through the growth point. Try to think about what may go wrong. Sometimes it is more helpful to show others the flaws of their plans instead of going along with the plan that doesn't fully work. Think forward. Although you are typically pushed to take things as they come, you'll have more agency if your life. If you start looking towards the future and defend what's yours and define what's really important to you and aspects you comfort and safe. Comfort, safety, willing to compromise, commit to taking time. Path forward. All types 9s have unconsciously basically own beliefs, fears. Although then each type particular patterns examine the upper for. Okay. So here are my patterns. Practice turning into your own preferences, like dislikes, what feels good for you, what do you want more. Do simple things that gives you pleasure. Time each day to do what you enjoy doing, even if it's brief. Express an opinion. Don't worry about whether you truly feel strongly of what's correct. Practice sharing you take when someone asks for your endorsement. You can take a moment to consider before agreeing. Check about it. Consider that avoiding conflict often causes bigger problems. And challenging yourself, take action, choose relationship carefully. Notice people in your life impact you. What makes you unique? Although everyone can find top personality superpowers. Enthusiasm. So your zest for life is around you. You find yourself driven by relentless enthusiasm for what Next, you keep your life exciting and moving forward. Think things get dull. And sometimes exhausting to be with. Yes, although you can wear yourself out, things for the most part, and just brings a life full fun, but you're assertive. You're not afraid to ask for what you want in life, and more often than not, you get it. You're clearly about your goals and preferences in a variety of situations, and are likely to get involved in something without understanding that you and what hope to gain. While it is possible to take this too far by ignoring others, they need and streamlining their ideas, as long as you are conscious about listening to others and taking them into account as well, your tendency to be clear about your agenda, more likely you achieve your goals. Yeah, I agree with that. Individualism, you're not one to follow the herd. You make decisions based on your own values and goals, not the decision of others people, this is opposite to 9, weirdly enough. You think yourself as unique and different from others, which can sometimes make you feel somewhat distant, but this gives you original other things and make you feel more likely to make choices and are right with you instead of simply doing what expected to you. Blind sports. Present focus. You are a grounded sort of person turned into what's happening now. You don't spend much time thinking about the future, imagining what come next. You're way ahead of the folks who struggle. Stay present, but you can always be a bit blinded by life without the feel for the based on plan. Okay. Pessimism. You may consider yourself realistic, not pessimistic, but the fact that you often expect things to turn out poorly, while this means you're not usually disappointed, you never get out for the first place. It also means that you're hesitant to go on a limb and try something that may not work out. I guess. I'm not much of a risk taker. You may miss out on opportunities and important for yourself unless that forward. To account and potential benefits as well. Impulsive. You are easily distracted and often choose to enjoy present moment rather than to long-term goal. I mean, sure, your plans are sidetracked by temporary impulses and you have trouble sticking with things when they get too hard. Side, you are likely to be overworked and overstressed, and the people probably know you as fun-loving, carefree sort of person. You struggle to stay focused on what you should do instead of what you want to do, which can make it difficult to achieve ambitious goals. You may never be to the grandson type, but working on your willpower to serve you well. Someday you'll achieve something that takes persistence, and you'll need to understand how to buckle down and go after it. Who you are. Okay, that's pretty much it. I'm a peacemaker. I am basically neutral. That's what this is. It's quite shocking because I choose a lot of neutral for the most part. So I guess that makes sense. But yeah, that's my results. Hope you guys enjoy this. If you guys enjoy it, let me guys know. If you guys have taken this type of quiz, I have to pay for this one. This was very unexpected result, but yeah, hope you guys enjoy. If you guys enjoyed, be sure to leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe now to show your support, and yeah, as always, I will see you guys next time with another brand new video. This is the Cool Mike signing off. Goodbye.